Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to make sense of word problems and be able to set up word problems into equations, and how to examine word problems and determine how their parts relate to quantities. How are we learning it? Through the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 notes and the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 assignment. When can we use this information? To apply mathematics and mathematical operations to real-world scenarios. How do we know we learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 assignment on Desmos. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the Reasoning About Statement Study Guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Okay, reading through the problem. So as you read through the problem, there's a few things you need to look for in any word problem. The first thing is, where are the numbers at? So that's what we need to know. All the rest of it, for the most part, is just fluff. So what are the numbers? What are the units? So are we looking at people? Are we looking at feet? Are we looking at apples? Are we looking at yards or miles or whatever? What is the units that we're looking at? Next thing, what are they looking for us to find? Okay, so what is the unknown that they're trying to get us to get to? And lastly, ignore the rest. The rest of it doesn't matter. It just provides context, but it doesn't provide any information that leads to us solving the equation. So in this one, it says, in order to start constructing the house, Charlie and his father needed to gather some wood from the forest. They initially have 15 extra planks of wood in the house, and Charlie and his father got 10 planks of wood each. How many pieces of wood do they have in total? Well, first step is, what includes numbers? 15 and 10. That's what we know. Okay, that's the important part. 15 and 10. What are the units? Well, they are planks of wood. So we have 15 planks of wood and 10 planks of wood. What are they asking us to find? The total number of planks. Ignore the rest of the information. So notice I crossed everything out. We have 15 planks of wood initially. We have 10 each. And then we want to know the total. That's it. Everything else we can erase. It doesn't really matter. So again, we have our information. We know what they're trying to have us find. So now we're going to pick the correct equation. So total means that we're going to find the sum or addition of everything. So we know we're going to have 15 planks plus 10 planks. And in reality, it's 2 times 10 planks because there's 2 of them. And that's equal to X number of planks. That's it. That's as easy as it is. So let's look at one from your actual assignment. It says Ryan is just 4 years older than Blair. The total of their ages is 24. How old is Blair? So again, what includes information? 4 and 24. What are the units? Years and years. What are they asking us to find? Blair's age. So now, again, ignore the rest of the information. We do need to know the names a little bit just so we can keep it straight, but in reality, the names don't matter that much. We want Blair's age, and we know that she's 4 years older than Ryan, and their total is 24. So we write our equation based on the numbers, the units, and what they're asking us for. So we ignore the rest. So picking the correct equation, total equals the sum, right? Where the sum of their ages, or the total of their ages, is 24. And we know that Blair is X years old. We don't know how old she is. We just know that she is some age. We know that Ryan is 4 years older, so it's Blair's age, X, plus 4 years old. And then we can solve that from there. So we would go ahead and add X plus 4 and set that equal to 24 and solve for X. and that would be Blair's age. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click start the activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log into Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the Making Sense of Word Problems Part 1 assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here that'll take us to the Desmos activity. If we click on that link, it'll take us to a page that looks like this. We'll go ahead and click Start the Activity. The activity begins with the learning goals and success criteria. We'll go ahead and click Next. And it gives us a couple word problems and asks us to state what these different parts represent. So the first one says, a spaceship releases a probe that travels directly away from Earth. The probe's distance s in kilometers from Earth after t seconds is given by s equals 600 plus 5t. What does 600 represent in that equation? What does 5 represent? And what does 5t represent? So 600 represents the initial amount, right? So how far it was from the beginning. So it represents the initial distance from Earth at the time it began being tracked. Okay, so that's our initial distance. Now 5 represents how fast it's moving. So the speed of the spaceship. And then 5t represents the distance that it's covered in a certain amount of time. So that's what you would state there. And then you'll do the same thing over here with a different problem. You'll just state what each part represents, and then you'll click Next. You're going to continue to do it and do it again here with this one with another scenario. And then on the last slide, it's going to ask you to write equations that represent the given information that's here for you. So, for instance, the first one says, this question appeared on a smarter balanced pilot test. The $1,000 prize for a lottery is to be divided evenly among the winners. Initially, there are X winners, but then one more winner comes forward, causing each winner to win 50 less. Create an equation that represents the situation that can be used to solve for X. So we know that there's going to be 1,000 total. That's the total amount. And each winner gets a certain amount. So some value, Y, times X number of winners. So that's our initial amount. Now when we add one winner to our collective of winners, we notice that each winner ends up winning $50 less than they originally were. So if we take this, we know that the X is the initial number of winners, and we're going to add one winner to it. And we know then that the amount of money received was initially Y, but once we changed it and added one more winner, it ended up being $50 less. So our equation should look something like this. You'll do another one kind of similar to it here, and then at the end you're just going to state what similarities do you notice between the two equations. Once you're done with that, you'll go back to your Google form and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.